ECMAScript 2015, also known as ES6, introduced significant additions to JavaScript. Template literals was one of those additions that can fundamentally change the way JS is used with strings. This is a simple feature to understand and to use, but it can make your life so much easier when working with strings. Instead of single quotes or double quotes, template literals are enclosed by the backtick character. So this right here is a template literal, although it does not do anything different from a standard string yet. An unrelated fun fact, this right here is known as an English pangram, which means it is a sentence that contains all the letters in the alphabet. The most common use case of template literals is string interpolation, or in simpler terms, substitution of placeholders with their corresponding values. Let's consider this string. Suppose I wanted to extract this portion of text to a variable. Since the 5th of November is the Guy Fawkes Day, I will call it as such. Traditionally, I would have to concatenate it by doing something like this. It gets the job done perfectly fine, but it is a little cumbersome if there were multiple variables like this, and also it is not that pretty. This is much simpler to do with template literals. So I will wrap this in backticks. In template literals, the placeholders are indicated by the $sign and curly braces. The values substituted in the placeholder can be any JavaScript expression. So if I do something like this, it will work perfectly fine. And also, template literals support multi-line strings. By the way, this is the riddle of Strider from The Lord of the Rings. Notice how all white spaces, including new lines, are preserved in the output. Before template literals, it wouldn't be this easy, since you would have to use the new line character to indicate line breaks and then use concatenation as well. This is a lot simpler than that. If for some reason it is required to escape a backtick character within a template literal, it can simply be done with the backslash. So that would work fine. In addition to what we discussed so far, there is another form of template literals known as tagged templates. Tagged templates support more advanced string manipulations. A tag is simply a function that passes the template literal. Let's consider this is string. By the way, this is a really cool true fact. I will go ahead and extract the movie name and a words count into variables. And then I will use string interpolation. so that still works as expected. Now, like I said, a tag is just a function that passes the template literal. So I would create a function named styled. The first parameter to a tag function is an array of strings. I will simply call it strings, and within the function I'll just print it for now. All I need to do now to make this template literal a tag template is to tag it. That can be done by simply adding the tag before the opening backtick. Just like that, this is now a tagged template literal. You can see that strings is indeed an array of string parts of the template literal separated by the expressions. You may notice that the 0th index of the array is an empty string. Well, this is because there are two string parts at either sides of this expression. Technically, there is an empty string right before the start of this expression. If there was some other text here, that would be the 0th index. But since there isn't, this is what we get. Let's walk through all the values in the array. The 0th index is just an empty string in this case. The first index contains the string that starts from here up to the start of the next expression. Similarly, the second index contains the string that I just highlighted. Interestingly, template is now undefined. This is because function styled does not return anything. We will get back to that in a moment. The remaining arguments to the tag function are the expressions. So I will add two parameters for movie and awards count. Within the tag function, we can do whatever we want with these values and return the output. I will return an HTML element with the movie name and the awards count set to bold. I will simply wrap the movie name and the awards count in strong tags. And if we look at the output, template is now a span tag. We will execute this just to confirm, and it is exactly what we needed. Now, you might be wondering, why go through all this hassle just to do this? That is exactly the reason I named this function styled. If you are a React developer, you've probably made the connection already. This is exactly the syntax for styled components, which is a library with which we can write CSS in JavaScript. And yes, it is based on tagged templates. There are other popular libraries such as GraphQL and Apollo that also use tagged templates, and it is useful to understand how they work. And with that, I will wrap up this video, and thanks for watching.